insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on a Thursday. That is on the agenda. I'm Tito Jeff Thitoff, Bobby Carpenter to my left, Bodie across the glass. Do you think at home where they're watching, do you think we look different, Bodie, or not?
Oh.
Do you think it's
as if you couldn't get any more good looking?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I would say, yeah.
Yes.
I'd say you went from, like, I don't know, George Clooney Batman to George Clooney today.
That's the thing.
And you know what that means? Just as handsome.
I appreciate that. Good morning, Bobby. How are you?
Good to see you, Jeff.
Bodie's talking like I have any influence on his career advancement, and I really don't. Like, that was very kind of Bodie to say that. But I look like, what I look like is Jimmy Clooney, who was like the cousin of George that married somebody not very attractive and had a kid. That's what I look like, that one, the other one. Anyway, big show lined up for you today. Thank you for tuning in today, folks. We are sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3, Twitter, and Facebook. Catch the show from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus. Download the podcast anywhere you get your audio. We have Albert Breer joining us today, which is a great day. I'd like to have Albert Breer on the entire show and ask a bunch of questions. He'll be on, though, at 7:05 with us. It's a Brody Draft Thursday. Ya Highness joins us around 7:40. So lots to get into today. Rays beat the Reds last night 6-1. Yesterday afternoon, I should say. The 5-game winning streak for the Reds now over. Cincinnati's off today. They then host Detroit for the first of 3 tomorrow night. Astros beat the Guardians 2-0 yesterday afternoon. Stros took the rubber match of the 3-game set. Cleveland's off today as well. They'll be in Toronto tomorrow night for the first of 3 against the Blue Jays. Game 3, Cavs-Raptors tonight. Tip-off 8 o'clock. Cavs lead the series 2-0. And really, the only thing that matters, though, is the NFL draft. That's tonight. First round of the NFL draft tonight in Pittsburgh. Browns are picking 6 and 24 as we speak. Bengals traded their first-round pick for Dexter Lawrence II. So tonight will be round 1. Should be a lot of fun to do that. We'll do a lot of draft talk today as well. All right, Bob, let's get rolling here. Make me smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
All right, Bob, take it away.
It is Thursday, April 23rd, the 113th day of the year, 252 days remaining in this 2026. This date, 1939, Ted Williams gets his first home run as a professional. 1950, the first MLB game played under the lights. First night game action getting going there. And then in 1954, his first of what would be 754 more. Hank Aaron belts his first home run.
Looking at some of these other averages for the Boston Red Sox, those are the 3 leaders in runs scored. Aaron, long fly ball. That one is gone. Home run. Henry Aaron, up on the screen, has just hit his 12th home run. And listen to this Boston crowd. Listen to them.
You know, Jim, I think that Aaron really relishes this one because Bill Lee has thrown him nothing but junk all year long. He's thrown him that alley-oop changeup like they did over in the series in Milwaukee. And watch this one.
Henry's first home run in Fenway Park.
Got that breaking ball right in his power.
There we go. Hammer and Hank starting it off strong. This date, 1962. After losing 9 straight games to open their franchise, the Mets finally get their first win. And then 1 year later, in 1963, the duo Jan and Dean record one of their massive hits.
By the way, I would love to go to Surf City now, though.
Yeah.
If it's truly 2 girls for every boy.
Said 2 Heathers for every Jeff, is what I heard.
I don't want any more. Never mind. Forget it. I'm just going to Newark.
Oh.
Just go to Newark. This is good.
Stay on don't go to the east side.
1971, Rolling Stones released one of their massive albums, Sticky Fingers. There we go. Brown Sugar, one of my favorites of theirs. 1985, one of Rothman's favorites. Some of the biggest artists in the world got together to help save the world with We Are the World. It's released. Oh, chill.
You mean
That was Michael Jackson coming through there.
Yeah.
Wonderland Ranch?
You mean Neverland?
Neverland, yes.
I'm sure you enjoyed this little jaunt down history. On this date, 1985, 41 years ago today, Coca-Cola has one of their strokes of genius with the release of a massive hit. It only lasted for 3 months. Don't be sad because it's gone. Be happy because we had it. New Coke.
Death and taxes and the picture of George Washington on the dollar bill. Those are among the few constants in a changing world. But now another of those constants may be changing. Coca-Cola is about to announce what it calls the most significant development in its history. James McManus reports.
The formula for Coca-Cola is called Merchandise 7X, a recipe so secret that it's locked inside this Atlanta bank vault, so successful that it's been tinkered with, but never dramatically changed in nearly 100 years. But tomorrow, Coca-Cola Company will tell a thirsty world it's putting a smoother, sweeter taste into the most instantly recognizable bottle in the world.
This has got to be the boldest consumer product move of any kind, of any stripe, since Eve started to hand out apples.
Since Eve started to hand out apples,
long time.
What did you learn about New Coke, Bodie, in your quest yesterday?
Definitely wasn't very successful. Had a rather short run, and even that short run was pretty unsuccessful.
Mail theft, I had to look this up before I made this statement publicly. The federal statute of limitations for stealing mail is usually 5 years from the date theft was committed.
Okay.
I want to make sure that it gets out there now, and that's why I'm stating what I'm stating here. This is not me pleading the fifth. But, Bodie, when they brought out New Coke, at least here in Columbus, Central Ohio, everyone had 2 cans of New Coke mailed to them. Like, so the mailman had to carry that around because it wasn't like, pre-Amazon stuff. So like, it wasn't like they were.
We were flying those suckers around in those
that had to be expensive.
And everybody's porch were 2 cans of New Coke. Now, I was a young lad who had a lot of free time in my hands around this time of year, and me and my buddies, we went out and took a lot of cans of Coke off people's porches and drank it because it was free, as far as we knew. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we went out and did that. The New Coke, they mailed it. I think it was 1 or 2
you guys
cans.
Liked it.
Well, we liked it being free.
It's fine.
I liked free Coke, not New Coke. I liked free Coke. But yeah, like they mailed it out to everybody at least. From in our neighborhoods, like around where we were growing up. Yeah, we were out there just taking Coke off porches middle of the day.
Nice.
That sounds pretty remarkable right there.
Straight use.
Yes.
Porch pirates is what they call you.
I know. I mean,
it's
no
amazing.
No ring doorbells back then.
Back then, no.
You know, it's amazing. Thitoff, I always heard you were a duopoly pirate. You had another pirating occupation that you may have been involved in.
Just be lucky it wasn't
They
something.
talked about that in Chuck and Larry. You may want to look that one up.
Was it I pronounce you Chuck and Larry? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I've never seen that one, but I know that.
It's a great little scene. He talks about his dad having 2 jobs.
Just lucky for me, it was New Coke and not New Heroin because we were going taking that off people's porches. That could have been a much different life for me.
1988, Whitney Houston's "Where Do Broken Hearts Go" hits number 1. And in this date, 1995, President Clinton issues a national day of mourning for the Oklahoma City bombing. Some birthdays today. Well, you'll hear some irony with that, as we talked about Tim McVeigh earlier. Born on this date, 1971, James Buchanan, the president, was what number?
Wait, you just said born in 1971.
I'm sorry, 1791.
You're trying to. You see now, Bob. It's hard for me to get my head around it. Then, if you give me the 200 year
1791.
difference. Okay, James Buchanan. I'm going to make him 11.
You're not terribly far off.
Thank
You're
you.
not.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
He's one of the. Shark always had trouble. He goes 11, 12, 13, 14, or maybe it was like 12, 13, 14, 15. He goes the ones that basically drove us off the cliff into the Civil War. He was the guy that had his hands on the steering wheel. James
15,
McKinnon,
right?
number 15.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not a great situation for him. Shirley Temple, born on this date in 1928, the singer-actor, diplomat as well.
Yes.
Roy Orbison, famous singer, born on this date in 1936. And then the $6 million man turning 87 today, Mr. Lee Majors.
Steve Austin, astronaut, a man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man. Steve Austin will be that man. Better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster.
There we go.
Mr. Farrah Fawcett back then. Some Farrah Fawcett majors, which turned Farrah Fawcett majors. She married Lee. They really leaned in on this because they then did a spin-off of this called The Bionic Woman. And so you had the $6 million man, and they did the Bionic Woman. Lindsay Wagner played that one.
All right.
That was on for a few years.
There we go.
Like RoboCop.
Learned a little bit about that. Michael Moore, the director and producer, turning 72 today.
Hi, I'm Michael Moore. In my hometown of Flint, Michigan, General Motors closed the factories and put 30,000 people out of work. To raise their spirits, I made this movie and went off to find GM Chairman Roger Smith to get some answers. Boy, was he hard to get to. So Roger, if you're out there, listen to the critics. See this movie. Thousands have. You'll enjoy it. After all, I made you a star.
What movie was that from?
Roger and Me?
I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
I've watched Fahrenheit 9/11.
I feel like I had heard his name before.
He's
but
made he was really big in the early 2000s to mid 2000s and made. I wonder if he did Super Size Me.
I think he did Super Size Me.
He did Fahrenheit 9/11. There was like two. There was maybe one or two others. Were actually that were really good, and then he kind of faded into oblivion. But there was a time where he was cranking out some stuff that was actually in theaters.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. So
I couldn't tell because it's not a traditional movie, safe to say, right? They were almost more like investigative.
Oh, they're
Like
documentaries.
documentaries,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely documentaries, to say the least with that. George Lopez, the actor and comedian, turning 65.
They ever take you in the change room to beat your ass? No, I won't! Come on. All right, we're gonna go try this on, okay? Don't run! Don't run! Come on. Mira, don't run! Move your hand! Move your hand! Move your hand! And then when you come out, how did everything go? It didn't fit. Come on, son of a bitch. Everything was no. Birthday party? No, ¿qué birthday party? Mira, cabrón. You got a lot of things already. You don't need a party. No. Why are you crying now? No. Chuck E. Cheese. You want to see a mouse? Pull the refrigerator out. A f***ing mouse back there. Pull it out. What the? By your feet! By your feet!
George Lopez. Kind of sounds like my dad. Enjoyed that for a minute. And, you know, they had the day of mourning for the United States on the Oklahoma City bombing. Ironically, it's Tim McVeigh's birthday today.
Oh.
Born in 1968. Yeah. We got arrested.
Maybe not happy.
Got pulled over for the speeding. Then they arrested him a couple days ago. Was that just yesterday or was that 2 days ago? Maybe 2 days back.
Feels like they should have done some more research maybe on when to do this National Day of Mourning.
Yeah, fair call.
Oh, I mean,
Push
listen,
that
it was
out.
a day or two after they had arrested him. I mean, you got to do it at some point. So, yeah, you got that going right there. You can't see him? Mr. John Cena turning 49 today.
The GOAT is here!
much emotion out of the WWE fans as John Cena.
I think I've told you before, Bob, where I was at a Jackets game sitting up there like at those, like those bar tables where you're up there like.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with Heather and the kids, and I look over my left, and we were convinced, like we spent a good chunk of the game thinking that the guy to the left of us was John Cena. And we were
just hanging out at a Jackets game.
I couldn't believe that's why I took a conversation. Like, why would John Cena be here for like a Wednesday night game against the Sharks?
He wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. But I knew who was there, though, I think. Brad DeHaze. I think it was him.
Come on.
I'm telling you, like, dude,
No,
look up.
people have said, I understand what you're going to tell me, and I understand this.
I never met Brad before that, but we're looking at it, though, and we're convinced. Like, my wife and I are like, I think that's John Cena.
That's unbelievable.
Well, Brad's...
It's really not that unbelievable, actually, to tell you the truth with you.
We're having a conversation. We're like, why would he be here? And I'd never met Brad before.
But why wouldn't he be there?
Well, that's a good point, too, there. I think that's when the Jackets were on coach number 9 in 4 years or whatever. But, yeah, so... But looking back now...
You got to see it live.
Right, you do. Look, you got to defend NWA, Bob. What better way to defend NWA than with John Cena in the house?
I don't know if that's the way. I don't think John Cena is all about defending NWA, to tell you the truth.
He might. We don't know that. We got to do a deep dive on that. But yeah, I think now, looking back, my wife and I are convinced it was Brad next to us.
Okay. It's good to know. Interesting. Interesting to say the least. Turning 35 today, the 10-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, fullback for the 49ers and a native of Medina, Ohio. Harvard grad, Mr. Kyle Juszczyk.
Had to go quick with the play clock running down. He did. It's a boot. Purdy pulling back, stepping forward, throwing on the run, touchdown! What a play, Purdy! Juszczyk on the business end. You deserve to dance.
There you go, Mr. Kyle Juszczyk. Some passings today. Losing one of the great ones in 1995. Oh, you know what I skipped in here? I'm sorry. He passed away in March, but he was born in 1966. The lead singer for Boston, Mr. Tommy DiCarlo.
Walk away.
There we go. All of that. And then, now passing away on this date, 1995, one of the great sports journalists of all time. You can hear him ringside at some of the most famous boxing matches ever. Mr. Howard Cosell.
He came to New York first as a brash, arrogant, obnoxious youngster. Nothing about him has changed. Except for the palpable decline in his pugilistic skills, because once he was a very great fighter, now he is a worn relic of the past, a faded hero of yesteryear, living off weak opponents at the moment, but still mouthing words that he can no longer employ the skills to back up.
I sat back there and I listened to every word you said. Howard, every time you open your mouth, you should be arrested for air pollution.
What was that from? Was that from Ali's retirement, or like?
I can't remember.
They
were just kind of hanging out, shooting the, you know what?
Yeah, it was a roast of Michael Scott. Boom roasted.
There's a if you can ever find the audio version of his book, I Never Played the Game. It's really good with him
clock
reading
move. This is going to be bad.
I know. I noticed that too, Bob. It's the first thing I noticed. By the way, Monday.
I keep
that's
trying to look up
to see
between
the TV.
you guys to see the TV, and it's just a blank
That's
wall.
That's our Monday
really
thing.
help.
It's got to go there. The clock has to go there.
The clock needs to go there. TV can go.
TV go here.
There
Yes.
somewhere. Somewhere else. It's a little better. Not really all that much. I used to be able to watch it off of the glass and look at it a little bit that way. Dang, where I was at. Some other passings. Cesar Chavez passing on this date, 1993. On this date, 1616, the passing of one Bill Shakespeare over there. Some holidays and observances for you on this April 23rd. It is German Beer Day. It is Lover's Day. Virginia's for lovers. How about that? National Picnic Day. Some would say it's Yogi Bear Day then.
Picnic, then if it's Yogi Berra.
Picnic basket.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Talk like Shakespeare Day and World Book Night. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances. For this date, Thursday, April 23rd, the 113th day of the year, 252nd day remaining. We come back next week. We'll be in the 240s, just running down a dream. And it's the opening night of the NFL draft.
Oh,
Air well doneth, I say. Professor Carpenter.
Good job on that, Bodes. Not bad out of you, Jeff.
You know what? I get told that a lot. Well done by you. Not bad out of you, Jeff. I get that quite a bit. Coming up next, do the Buckeyes have a new rival plus one Big Ten coach? Says that they're finally ready to start winning championships. We'll hit on those two things next, right here on Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and spring is here, and it's time to hit the road with something new from Germain Toyota. Right now, get into a rugged 2026 Toyota Tundra with just 2.99% financing for up to 72 months. Power, performance, and capability ready for every spring adventure. Or cruise into the season with a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for only $299 a month for 36 months and $39.99 due at signing. Fresh deals, fresh rides. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
I'm Brianna Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Thanks for tuning in today, folks. Join us in the chat there if you'd like to. That's always fun.
How much of the draft are you going to watch tonight, Jeff?
I'm going to watch more than I should. I'm going to be irresponsible, Bob, with my watching.
I'm curious.
Give me a pick number.
Since you didn't watch any of the spring game, I'm curious as to the amount of the draft you're going to consume.
Bob, my intention is to stay up until the end of the first round.
Well, that's all that's on tonight.
Well, there's post draft stuff. I mean,
I didn't ask how much of the.
That's my goal.
How much of the draft?
Day 2 mock draft.
So like I said, if how much of that steak you're going to eat, and you said, "Well, I'm not going to eat the broccoli." What does that have to do with what I asked? I said, "How much of the draft are you going to watch?"
That's fair, Bob.
You think you'll watch it all?
I would like to watch it all.
I didn't say would you like to. I said, will you?
This is what's going to be key today, Bob.
I don't understand where you're going with this, but sure.
Okay. If I can get an afternoon nap in, I think I'll stay up and watch the entire first round.
Okay.
The bigger issue is, how do I manage? Well, I'm not going to do this right now. Anyway.
No, I'm curious.
No, Bob, I can't do it
because I'm like, you missed the spring game.
I didn't miss the spring game. I chose.
Conscious objective.
Yes.
That's arguably the biggest event that we have for our biggest thing that we do in the spring, and you chose not to observe it in any way.
I was working that day, my other job.
Okay.
And then I had an event I went to for the fan.
Gotcha. Which was what?
It was the sports trivia event.
I mean, I'd say we're not really an event station, so I would say that's.
Rothman was there. I was there. Scotty Vegas was there. It was a big deal. Bob Golick joined us.
I don't know if it was a fan-sanctioned event, but that was at 6:00.
Well, we had to be there at 4.
For what?
Because we did the VIPs. They opened the doors at 4:00, Bob, and then we had interviews we did on the stage with.
You were one of the VIPs.
I was an interviewer on the stage.
Okay.
With
interviewer or interviewee?
I was an interviewer.
Okay. Who were you interviewing?
J.T. Barrett, Cardale Jones, and Bo Jackson.
Was Rothman there?
Rothman was there. Not for that. Rothman was just he was Joe Q Public. Scotty Vegas and I were doing interviews. Rothman showed up a little bit later. Like, he didn't show up right at 4. The trivia thing started at 6, but 4:00 we had to be there, ready to set up and talk. And by the way, came across in the group chat. Isaiah was there as well, by the way, producer Isaiah, who did a great job with all the social media stuff and all the. But anyway, I did get called out by Isaiah because we're on the stage interviewing Bo Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think I did, Bob?
I have no idea. The possibilities are really endless.
There's something I am known for when it comes to interviewing people.
Pointed at him.
No,
touched him.
I touched him.
Dude, that is so wildly inappropriate.
Okay, Bob, I realize that now, but I'm just saying.
How have you never realized it before?
And I had to ask him. I said, "Hey, is this the repaired shoulder?"
Like, you've never even have you ever talked to him before?
Bo Jackson?
Yeah.
The
guy that we're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know if you need to repeat his name.
A couple of times. I mean, not
when
I'm watching the game on TV. I'm like, Bo, great run.
Okay. So never have been in a personal conversation.
Jeremiah Love and I are best friends.
You thought it was
appropriate.
Yeah, you thought it was appropriate to put your hand on him while you're communicating with him.
All I do, Bob, is go on feel.
And that's
I'm not talking about this feel. I'm talking about just like my.
You definitely need to reassess your feelings.
We know I'm self-aware, Bob. We know that. Okay?
Would you say that your fingers are your eyes?
That's what I would say. Yes, I think my fingers are my mouth. I think I did that to say, "Hey, Bo," and then I said, like, after I realized, I look over and say, I have a hand on his shoulder, like I'm like this. I look over and say, "Wait,
it just happened."
Is this the bad shoulder? If we go with this one,
they built for speed or comfort,
right? Exactly. That's exactly right. You motorboat son of a gun. Anyway, you old sailor, Bob. Yeah. So Isaiah pointed that out.
That's good. I'm glad he did, because he's like looking. He's like, "Do you know this guy?" Because he's probably wondering, why is his hand on my shoulder?
I know Bo. Anyway.
So then after all of that,
yes,
thanks to the advances in 21st century technology, you didn't find it appropriate to maybe go back and watch the spring game on Saturday? I spent an hour watching the first half.
I watched clips.
For Sunday,
I watched clips and I listened to Austin Ward.
I didn't ask that.
I know. No, I didn't feel. No, I did not. Bob, listen, I don't know how much time you think I've got in a day.
Well, I mean, I understand the priorities of what we're doing.
Sure.
And like the ability to have a conversation about the spring game that we never really got to have. And that was disappointing on my end.
About it.
No, you asked me what I saw in the spring game. That's not a conversation. That's an interview.
And you told me.
I understand that. And then I'd like to maybe see some of your observances. What you thought.
I thought Ohio State won.
Great.
Josh Pate, though, he has said he thinks Ohio State-Oregon is now the new rivalry in the Big Ten. Here's what Josh Pate had to say about that.
This feels like a rivalry. Ohio State-Oregon has quickly just adopted rivalry status in my mind. Dan Lanning's the new Ryan Day. It has dawned on me. Dan Lanning's the new Ryan Day. By that I mean Kirby was the guy who couldn't win the big one. Then he won the big one. Then it became Ryan Day who couldn't win the big one. Then he won the big one. And now they said it about James Franklin, but he got fired. And so they're not throwing that his way right now. So it's Dan Lanning who's stuck with it until Dan Lanning wins the big one, which is just code for national title. Until Dan Lanning wins a national title, that's going to be the talk around him. And it'll be the talk around this game. And we get to see Dante Moore versus Julian Sayin. But more importantly, we get to see Ohio State's offensive line against Oregon's defensive line. And friends, what we may be looking at there is the number one position groups, respectively, both sides of the ball in the country that afternoon.
It's interesting. I think there is a lot of truth to the Dan Lanning because he's a very likable guy. He's very similar to Ryan Day in that sense, and has been really good. Has people say he's got a ton of resources out there. There's no inherent reason why he shouldn't be winning, and he's won a lot, just not in the playoff.
Yes, and is he more okay? Is Lanning though? Would you say he's closer to Ryan Day or James Franklin?
Well, I don't know that he's had the runway that James Franklin's had. James Franklin was at Penn State for a decade.
Oh yeah, was it exactly? I thought it was like was it 10 or was it 11, 12?
Maybe it was more than that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but they were elite for at least a decade.
Yeah.
When he came in, I'll give you a year or two to build it.
Sure,
but I mean,
Then
when did they?
they'll come.
Yeah, but the 2016 team, beat Ohio State and won the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So that's 10 years right there from that moment. So you had 10 years, a pretty solid 10-year run, and never really got over the hump. Well, then he got fired. Ryan did it in, his 7th year, I want to say? This will be
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26.
6. So he did it in his 6th. So Franklin kind of crossed that. How many years has Lanning been in Oregon? 4 or 5? He's kind of getting right to that point now where it's like.
I'm pretty sure 4. This will be year 5.
This will be 5, yeah. And so that's what he's kind of getting into that territory now where it's like, okay. And plus, similarly today, like he'd been in the playoffs. He's had some tough losses. Like he lost to Ohio State, got routed out there, and you're like, okay. And then you get back this year and it's like, okay, maybe you need to start winning some games here. Like we've got all these resources. We got all these really good players. We got to start doing something with them.
And they got smoked.
Stuart Mandel does his mailbag for The Athletic, among other things he does. And here was a question that was asked, Bob. I found this funny. Somebody put in the question for the mailbag, looking at Dane Brugler's The Beast. Ryan Day looks like a much better recruiter than coach. What would another coach do with Ohio State's recruits? Stewart's answer was, with that much talent, I think it's fair to expect someone to win at least 87% of his games, make the playoff at least 5 out of every 7 years, and hoist at least one national trophy.
Which is what Ryan Day has done.
And he said, like Ryan Day.
Yeah.
But look,
winning national championships is hard. Really hard.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
That's what I'm saying. There's only 2 guys coaching who have won more than one currently, and one of them hasn't really been all that relevant the last 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, like they've been good, but they haven't really felt like they've been as dominant the last 3 or 4 years. And by the way, they've had more guys arrested than first-round draft picks.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, Georgia's gotten bounced in the quarterfinal each of the last 2 years.
Yeah, and it really hasn't been like all that close. Like it wasn't like they've gotten blown out, but Notre Dame beat them.
Oh yeah, we did, Bob.
And it felt like Notre Dame controlled that game. And who beat them last year?
Ole Miss.
That
one came down to the wire.
It did, but like Ole Miss didn't have their coach. Like there was a lot of things surrounding that.
And I don't think you look at Ole Miss as like, this team's going to win the SEC each year. Like that was kind of their peak. Now, credit to them, they went to the semifinal.
I mean, I'd put Ole Miss like kind of in that Indiana bucket.
Yeah.
Where like I don't think anyone in the SEC would ever expect Ole Miss to beat Georgia, especially when your coach isn't there and had left, and like they're going back, and the coach are going back and forth, and people are talking how they were never going to be able to win this, and they did. And so people are like, Kirby, you got all your guys there, and you're at Georgia.
Yeah.
You couldn't beat the ragtag group of renegades from Oxford.
Or rebels, even.
Lincoln Riley is ready to add another banner to their recruiting class.
When did he
banner.
add the first one?
Recruiting class banner, Bob. Number 1 recruiting class. And he says USC is now ready to win. He was talking to On3's Wilson Alexander. And a lot of work to get there, but they've now gotten this window opened.
Yeah.
USC had to get really serious about being great in the sport again. I give the school administration everybody credit they have taking this over. You know you had to go to fight like hell just try to get this window opened.
Yeah, you're at USC, dude.
And we're at a point right now where there's a lot to be excited about, and a lot in front of us. It's been a lot of work for a lot of people, a lot of commitment from a lot of people to get there, and it should be a lot of fun. There's a lot of ofs these next few years. We came here to win a championship. Is what he said. A lot of us were fortunate enough to be part of a lot of championships. Okay. We certainly didn't come here for anything less. We've got to buckle down, which is a problem because we buckled up here at Ohio State. Shout out to Mecca Don, and improve and really come together. But there's the makings of a championship level football team in that building right now.
So what's he trying to do by saying all that in your mind, Jeff?
I think what he's trying to do is save his job. And he's trying to win today.
More particularly, I understand save his job. He's got to win to save his job. I've said this many times on the handful of times on this show, many times since I've been here. Coaches don't get fired for wins and losses. They get fired for.
I can't remember what your exact phrasing ever was, Bob. What was it?
Failing to meet expectations.
Okay.
So what was he doing right there? With that
he was setting high expectation right there is what he was doing. He was setting, because the fact he thinks they're to win championships now, that's telling me he's setting a high expectation for himself.
How would that help save his job then?
I think when I say save his job, Bob, what I mean is he's trying to, it's short money is what it is. By saying those things right now, because they haven't played a game yet, USC right now,
undefeated.
They're undefeated and they're a championship contender is what he's trying to say. So I'm saying he's trying to save his job for today. I'm not saying it's going to end well for him. The schedule's not terrible this year for USC, but
they have to come to Columbus.
But
we go there. We go there. Yeah, they have to go to Michigan, maybe.
So they don't play anybody in the non-conference because they were too
San Jose State, Fresno State,
you know what, to play Notre Dame anymore.
Louisiana, that's fine.
But they'll be 3-0. They play San Jose State, Fresno State, and Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
First 3 games all at home. But then as far as Big Ten opponents go, they host Oregon. I'm not going to be picking them in that game. Right. They host the Buckeyes. Wouldn't pick them there. And then they go to Indiana. I mean, that's 3 games right there.
Yeah.
And then, by the way, it's not like USC
they lost
is
to
a
Illinois
program.
last year.
Exactly. And that's what I was going to say. Is like they still got to host Washington, host Maryland, go to Penn State and Wisconsin. Like,
well, they could lose that.
Exactly.
They could lose at Penn State.
I know Wisconsin's not been very good under Luke Fickell, obviously, but
they'll be better.
I would not just chalk that up as a win for USC either. And I don't know.
So
as far as expectations go, I'd almost say reset it a little bit.
Bingo. Thank you, Bodie. Well done, sir.
Are we going to point now?
No, I'm giving because he gets the gold star for today.
Because now you can look at it and say, well, those first 4 years
they didn't count. They didn't count.
But now
we're ready. The window's open.
And if we go 9-3 again, it's like, well, that was just 9-3 in year 1. And let's be honest, most coaches at most programs, you go 9-3 in year 1. You go tell Penn State fans hey, you're going to go 9-3 this year.
Yeah.
Well, for James Franklin, that would have been terrible. But year 1 of Matt Campbell, hey, that's not half bad.
Well, they go 9-3 this year at Penn State. People will be happy.
Yeah.
So what he did exactly, Bodie, was the resetting of expectations to where what happened before doesn't count. I had to battle to get this window open, as if he's Kurt Signetti in Indiana. We had to come in here and change a lot of things. We just didn't have the resources. There's not a lot of recruiting base here. No one knew
the history
who we
of
were.
the program. We've struggled.
Look at the small market. All the advantages they've always said they had. He's like, those didn't count for 4 years.
But the verbiage of it, though, Bob, the way it's
the verbiage is exactly what he's saying.
Okay,
is he's resetting expectations. The window is now open. Don't judge me from before. Let's judge me going forward.
But if he says the window is now open, isn't that saying we should be able to compete for a championship now?
Sure, compete for one, and but don't count the last 4 years.
No, I get that. I understand that he's saying that part, but I'm saying that if he just says, we're working to get the window open, or we've been working to get the window open, that right there says we're not there yet, and that lowers the expectation. If you say the window's open, we've worked our asses for it off of this. The window is now open. The window is finally open. Yeah. That tells me your expectation is you are going to compete for a championship.
Sure.
But if you say the window, look, it's been tough getting the window open, or it's been, we're still working on getting this window open, that sets you up for if you lose 3 games this year, you've met your expectations. I think right now, based on what he's saying, if
you can only lie so much, Jeff. That's the problem.
Well,
you can't sit there and say,
and that's fair. I said 9-3. 9-3 is probably the absolute floor.
Okay, but if they go 9-3 and miss the playoffs, though, now it looks like you have not met expectations at all. If you don't make the playoffs this year. And so that and what he's saying, though, I took his words to mean, hey, window's now. We got it.
He said it's open.
Their
Right.
time.
He didn't say we're all in. He didn't say this is our only chance. He said the window's open.
Right. But
meaning like now we can start to play. Don't pay attention to what happened before. Pay attention to this point forward. And so if we go 9-3 and we're in some of these games, we lose some tough ones, then okay, we're on the right track and that window is open and next year we'll have another shot to get through it. Don't pay attention to when we're going 7-5 or whatever they were, 8-4, and struggling mightily and losing to teams we shouldn't lose to.
Okay, so we agreed that hosting Oregon, hosting Washington, at Penn State, host Ohio State, at Indiana. There's 5 tough games in there. If they lose 4 of them, does he still have a job?
Yeah, they're not firing him.
I think that's financial as much
I don't
as
think they can afford to.
If they lose 2, are they in the playoff? Is a 2-loss USC team
probably
with
they're
that
in good
schedule
shape,
likely
yeah.
in the playoff?
I think more likely than not.
As long as the teams that they beat hold up as good teams.
All right.
If Penn State they end up going 6-6,
right,
or someone that they beat on that schedule is not very good. But if they beat either, who else would you say they have on there?
So they've got their host Oregon, host Washington, and then that stretches
Washington
at Penn State. I'm sorry, yeah, at Penn State, at Wisconsin, at Ohio State, or hosting Ohio State at Indiana.
If they beat Indiana, Oregon, or Ohio State and win the rest of them, and you can lose to the other 2, I think that 10-2 team gets in.
But I think if you lose to Oregon and Ohio State, it better be close.
Yeah, you can't be getting run.
You could be in a Notre Dame-like situation last year where it's like, well, you lost to the only 2 really good teams you played.
Sure, right.
Now, Notre Dame lost close games, and that almost got them in. If they had gotten blown out, they wouldn't have had an argument. And if Southern Cal they get Oregon and Ohio State at home. But I'd say it better be
at Indiana, yeah.
That's true.
And if Indiana's good, that's what I'm
true.
saying. If those 3 teams are playoff caliber teams,
good point.
and you win one of them, and as long as you said, Bodie, as long as you don't get smoked, like it's an embarrassing game, then I think that they would be good.
And smoked at home in one of the, because Ohio State and Oregon are both at USC.
Yeah.
And so if they get smoked at home.
Well, because that's his big argument is, we have to travel everywhere. That's why we lost to Illinois.
Who knew that when Southern California joined the Big Ten Conference,
right.
most of their away games would be in the Midwest
Coast. Coming up next, the Buckeyes have had some of the best draft classes in the sport this century. Which one was the best? We'll debate that and more with Quick Hitters. Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Hey, it's Austin Ward with an opportunity again this year, in case you haven't taken advantage of it in the past. Take this chance to drop 40 by the 4th with Awaken 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? To make it easier, Awaken 180 has launched Reclaim by Awaken 180. Reclaim is a simple 10-week plan designed to help you reach your weight and health goals. A beginning, an end, and a real finish line. It's not eventually. Makes sense, right? I dropped my 45 pounds in 10 weeks and 5 more in free maintenance. Reclaim by Awaken 180 comes at the perfect time for you to reach your 40 pounds by the 4th and then keep it off with free support for life. Any medication, diet, or workout plan will say you'll see results. But how many say in 10 weeks you'll be a new version of yourself, thanking the old you, the one that made the call to Awaken 180. 40 by the 4th and keep it off, medication-free. Do what Beamer did, Berm did, and I did. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Bobby is known as the General. Tito shops at Dollar General. This is Morning Juice.
Do you need a bank that truly values local business in this town? The opportunity to work alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals. So whether it's an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in to get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender. I need a clock right there. This is going to kill me.
Take the wheel, Bodie.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, happy Thursday. Happy NFL Draft Day. It's set to be another strong weekend at the draft for the Ohio State football program. The Buckeyes will definitely have 4 guys taken in tonight's first round. Could be a 5th if Caden McDonald finds his way in there. And overall, Ohio State could have another weekend where they see double-digit players taken over the next few days here. And with the draft set to get underway tonight, CBS Sports took a stab at ranking the best draft classes by a college football team this century. And among the 13 teams that they listed, Ohio State made the cut not once, not twice, but 3 different times. At number 1, they put Georgia.
When was this? When was the start date on this?
This century. So 25,
gotcha.
6 years, give or take. At number 1, they went with Georgia's 2022 class. LSU's 2020 class followed that. Ohio State followed it up at number 3 and 4 on the rankings with their 2025 class and then their 2016 class. And then coming in at number 8 was Ohio State's 2015 class. Bobby, I feel like
8 was their 2004 class, right?
2004, yeah.
Yeah.
Did I write it down wrong?
Yeah, Will Smith, Chris Gamble, Michael Jenkins, right?
They had 14 in that class. That was the 8th. Yeah. I remember I saw this yesterday.
Okay. Sorry about that. So, yeah, the 8th was the 2004 class.
Which was they were the juniors in that national championship team, plus Chris Gamble. He came out early. I think, so that would have been accurate with that.
So, yeah, you had Will Smith, Chris Gamble, and Michael Jenkins in the first round, and then Hartstock, Anderson, B.J. Sander, Darian Scott in the third. 4th round, might butcher this one here, Stepanovic, okay. Will Allen, Krenzel, Carter, Reynolds in the 5th, and then Olivier and Clark in the 7th. But all that being said, Carp, I got to be honest, I feel like there's kind of a glaring omission for Ohio State, and I think it was the draft class that you're probably
we had 5, which is tied for the most of all, and then we only had...
You only had 4. Oh, I say only 4 more after that. 2 guys in the 3rd. You had Schleggs and Yabodi.
Yep.
And then Sally and Sims in the 4th.
Yeah.
So maybe not as much
We'd have had
depth,
9,
but at the top, like...
We had 5 first-rounders and 9 overall. 2 in the top 10 with AJ and Dante both going 5th and 9th. That I was surprised.
Yeah.
And they went with the 14. I get that. That was, it's volume was big, but there was only 3 first-rounders and not a lot really on the first. They used to be first day was 1, 2, and 3 on Saturday. And so a little different there. I'm going to be honest, I was a little salty that wasn't on the right. When I saw it and I scrolled through, and I was like, what? 5 first-rounders? There's only been one other time in Ohio State history where there's been 5 first-rounders, I believe, taken. And the record is 6 by both, I want to say, Alabama or LSU and Alabama. LSU, Miami.
Most first-rounders, you're saying?
Yeah, in one single draft. It's 6. I think Miami had it. Maybe LSU had it too, if I'm not mistaken. 2 teams.
You said you were salty, Bob. Were you saltier about the fact that you guys did not make the top 13, or saltier that an Ohio State class like an 8 was in there instead of you?
I'm not. If you were going to put one of the classes in, I think our class was better than that.
Miami in 04 had 6 first-round picks. Yep.
And then I want to say one of the Bama schools did as well.
Okay.
Someone tied it recently. Ohio State, that 2015 class, should have tied it. Michael Thomas, who ended up being a multi-year All-Pro, was the 5th wide receiver taken in like the 2nd or 3rd pick of the 2nd round.
He went 47 overall. So
yeah, but there was
a little bit later.
There was 4 or 5 receivers that went before him that ended up doing nothing. That played like 3 or 4 years, 4 or 5 years, some of them. Not very good.
2016 NFL draft, first round. Oh, God, yeah. The Browns took Corey Coleman.
There you go. Great NFL legend.
We will not speak any ill words of this man right here because I love this guy dearly. William Fuller went 21st overall to the Texans. He had a few good years there.
He did. He had some injuries, some hamstring
injuries.
injuries. I mean, him going the first round was fine. They had Treadwell, I want to say.
And he had actually 3 straight receivers in a row here. Fuller went 21. Josh Doxson went 22, and he didn't really pan out well. And then Laquan Treadwell, who definitely didn't pan out well either, 23rd to the Minnesota Vikings. And those were the 4 guys in the first round. And then only one guy went ahead of Michael Thomas in the 2nd round, about 7 or 8 picks ahead here. Sterling Shepard to the Giants, who once again, pretty good career, but not Michael Thomas.
But both Shepard and Thomas had much better careers than a lot of those guys ahead of them. And that's why I couldn't believe that 4 went, and one of them wasn't Michael Thomas.
Yeah.
It was wild for me. He went to the perfect place for him with the Saints with Drew Brees, because he wasn't a big separation guy, but he was a great contested ball catcher, and Drew could put that thing on the money for you.
In 2019, Thomas had the 149 reception season for 1725 as far as yards go. And then, so 149 that year. And in his last 4 years, he had like 95 receptions total.
Yeah, his first 4 years, though, he had more catches than Jerry Rice.
Yeah, he had 510 or whatever that was. Yeah, he had most receptions. But I'm saying, like, his last 4 years, though, because of the injuries and whatnot, he only had 95 receptions in his last 4 years total after having the 149 in 2019. Damn, he was good those first 4 years.
Head of the college football world here, Alabama and head football coach Kalen DeBoer reached an agreement on a new 7-year contract that'll pay him $12.5 million annually. The school announced yesterday. The new deal extended his contract, so it's not 7 new years. It just extended his current deal by 2 years. It's now set to expire on January 31st of 2033. The new agreement includes a buyout of $10 million through January 31st of 2027, and then the buyout decreases by $2 million each year, $2 million after each of the next 2 years. Through 2 seasons down there in Tuscaloosa, he's guided the Crimson Tide to an overall record of 28, 20, and 8. They missed the playoffs by just a bit 2 seasons ago now, and then made it last year, beat Oklahoma, and then got smoked in the Rose Bowl by Indiana. They finished 17th and 9th in the AP poll in each of the past 2 years. Tito, I was typing up quick hitters right when you texted me this yesterday, and not that I thought you were trying to pull one on me, but I kind of read it and I was like, really? Kalen DeBoer?
Hey, he turned down Michigan.
He got a raise?
Yeah, and the fact that now, and I saw this thing too, and maybe it shouldn't surprise you, but the most Saban ever made in the season was 11.1 as far as salary goes, and now he's got 12.5.
It's inflation.
I'm just saying, Bob, just hearing that though, I understand that. Just reading those words though, and I was like, that's a lot. I know it's inflation. I know it's
Didn't bother you that John Cooper made more than Woody Hayes?
Oh, that really, Bob. That sticks in my craw, Bob. Every time I see Cooper walking around in the neighborhood and stuff around UA, I want to go up there and take some money from him and go throw it on Woody Hayes' grave. But I'm not a violent person. Besides, Cooper probably kicked my ass. Nonetheless,
90 years old almost.
He would kick my ass, wouldn't he, Bob? He's in great shape.
That's true.
Little Bob Barker.
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be.
Out on the golf course.
But I think that I wouldn't even put up a better fight than Sandler did. It would be 2 hits. Him hitting me hitting the ground.
Wrong.
Yes, right. Yes.
He's from East Tennessee. He definitely is tougher than you.
Well, now I'm not going to get all territorial on you because I went to Brookhaven, Bob. But anyway, and that counts for something. Yeah. Bodie up like you. I was surprised too when I first saw it too. I had to verify. I did the reporter route and checked like 3 or 4 sources before because I saw it. I was like, you know what, this might not be real.
The blue check mark doesn't mean anything.
Right,
anymore,
exactly right. Because you got that fake Schefter one that's out there. Sometimes it gets people with a blue check mark. But yeah, Bob, I I understand why Alabama felt like they had to do it. They also gave Nate Oates, their basketball coach, a big raise too. So they're putting a lot of money into the two big sports. But do you think, I wonder if Alabama 3 years from now is going to regret this? Now, the buyouts are not awful. I know there's, like you said, Bodie, $10 million starting in 2027, right? Then every 2 years after that,
it goes $2 million. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's been bad.
He has been bad. He's been.
I'll tell you what. He's been better than Lincoln Riley.
Oh, that's for
His
sure.
window just
That's
came
for sure.
open.
And I know if my uncle had wheels, he'd be a bicycle joke. I get that. But if they missed the playoffs last
I
year,
always thought it was something about my aunt being my own.
if my aunt had
the queen being the king.
Whatever. There's a lot of different ways you run that through. But I'm just saying, Bob, if they don't make the playoffs this past year, I know they won their first one against Oklahoma, a team they're familiar with.
That teetered so much. I mean, Oklahoma was ready to win that game.
Yeah.
And then they
had that deep drop pass, and then everything just flipped.
Turned.
It was crazy.
But there's zero chance this extension happens if they don't make the playoff, right?
No, I don't think that. Yeah.
You still think what happened if he
Yes.
didn't make the playoff? They just go to a bowl game or Liar Quest again.
Michigan offered him the job, and he told him no.
Yeah.
That's why.
Do you think Penn State did too?
I think that was in play.
Yeah.
And he told him no and was staying at Bama. And I think implicitly when he did that, they were probably thinking, because if he left, who are they getting?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody in Bama is upset about it, but it's like, we'll just bring in Kirby Smart.
We'll
really?
just hire Ryan Day.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they're crazy about who
Freeman.
Who are you going to get?
Lanning.
Dan Lanning will come back.
Yeah.
Really?
He just turned you down 2 years ago.
Yeah, so why would he want to come now?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Also, by the way, I think there'd probably be some Bama fans, too, that it's like, that guy just got killed by Indiana.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
So did you.
Right.
So did you.
You're right. Coming up next hour, Breer gets us ready for tonight's first round of the 2026 NFL Draft. Morning Juice.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I mean, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I'm Tracy Townsend, anchor at 10 TV News This Morning. This community is my home, and it means everything to me. I care deeply about the stories we bring you each day, especially the ones that truly impact your life, from women's health and advocacy to the decisions happening at the State House. My goal is simple: help you feel informed and connected, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
Wrinkles, gray hair, and hearing loss are common signs of getting older. But being short of breath, having tightness in your chest, coughing, and wheezing are not. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you may be one of the millions of people who are living with a condition called COPD but don't know it. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years of better breathing to your life. For more information, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Yeah, we're here on here shortly. Talk about the NFL draft tonight. And one thing I want to ask him about, Bob, I want to obviously draft heavy, but what his comment was about Indiana football tonight. They're playing their spring game,
which I'm not opposed to the Thursday night spring game. I think that that's not a bad idea. Carve out a little real estate for yourself. However, I think history would show, just ask the NBA, going head to head with the NFL isn't the greatest idea in the world.
So,
in fact, it might be an idea that's quite bad.
It's an 8 o'clock kick, 8 o'clock start for the spring game tonight in Bloomington.
There you
and there was
right as Fernando Mendoza's getting drafted, they're kicking off.
Okay, and there's Albert Breer. It's after the announcement came out about it. There was a tweet about it, and Breer commented on that and said, "This is so smart that I'm surprised someone hasn't thought of it before." What I imagine he's referring to, and we'll have to ask him this, but kicking off on a Thursday night, like you said, makes sense. Going up against the NFL draft, maybe not the best idea there. And by the way, maybe not 8 o'clock also. I guess it's 7 in Bloomington at that point. Where are they at now? Where are we on daylight, on time? And
I don't think Indiana recognizes daylight savings time.
So then is it?
Maybe they do.
So
maybe they're on Eastern.
I was going to say, so I don't know if it's 8 o'clock there tonight or 7 o'clock there. It goes with start of the draft. I was thinking about people going to the game. Draft regardless, or as a reporter for the Dispatch used to always say, irregardless. But the draft going off at the same time is the part I think is questionable.
They're in Central Daylight Time.
So it's okay. All right. And
that says Evansville. Indianapolis
Indianapolis. I said Bloomington is 7:02 right now, just like us.
Evanston, which is
Bloomington's just like us.
Or Evansville.
Anyway, they're going head to head with the draft. Now, there's two ways to look at it, Bob. One way is you can say, well, a couple ways. Mendoza's not going to be at the draft. And so maybe if Mendoza was going to be there, Signetti would be there to support him and be there for that, and they would change things around. Or they're going to have a stadium, I don't want to say full, but a stadium with a lot of people in it, and show the first pick on the big screen and get that reaction from it. Which
maybe
that might be, because we all know Mendoza's a first pick. That's not going to change, no matter who has a first pick. If the Raiders trade it, which they won't, but if they trade it, that would be for someone to get Mendoza. No matter what, you might have 50,000 people there watching it live right before the kick of the spring game, which would be kind of a cool moment.
Yeah, but it's not like he's the only guy. Like Omar Cooper Jr. could go in the first round.
He'll
Indiana could have
round,
multiple first rounders tonight.
Right, yeah.
And that's what's crazy is a night where you could have your head coach and promote your program big on a national stage, you could have all that there teed up when you're having your spring game. You're going to have people there watching it, Jeff. How many people are going to the spring game? If they have 30 or 40,000, that'd be a lot, I would say, for Indiana, even coming off a national championship.
I was looking at it, too, this morning, actually. Yeah. And do you guys want to take a shot in the dark? The last time Indiana had a first-round pick in the NFL draft last year, it happened.
The last year it happened, I would have said maybe, was Anthony Thompson maybe the running back?
What was that, 90?
Like 95, 90, 99.
I'm trying to see the name.
No, Anthony
there.
Thompson wasn't 99.
He was 1990.
Yeah,
second round.
He was 88
okay.
and 89 when they beat Ohio State.
Okay. Then, was it Vaughn Dunbar?
I don't even know who that is.
Is Vaughn Dunbar? Is that who it is?
It's not. You're getting warmer.
Vaughn Dunbar's a running back.
He was a first-round pick in 92. Their last first-round pick.
Okay, let's think about this one now.
You're hot. You're red hot on the year.
92?
Wow.
93?
Very warm.
It wasn't Randall L.
Go one more.
Wasn't Randall L in 94, was it? Yeah.
It was 94.
Wasn't Randall L. Hang on, wait. Don't give it to us yet. This is great.
What position was it?
Receiver. I've never heard of this guy. Looks like he didn't play a whole lot of years. To the Giants, if that helps.
I should know that.
0. I don't know. That doesn't help me out at all. I don't
Who we got?
Thomas Lewis.
No idea.
That doesn't really help me now.
Randall L. was a second-round pick in 02. So,
okay.
But, yeah, 1994.
It's been quite a while then, yes, for them to do that. What kind of crowd do you think they'll get there tonight, Bob? at the spring game. I mean,
I would
coming off a
say-
national championship game. What's their capacity out there? Is it 60?
Yeah, I'd say 60-ish, 65.
Okay.
Maybe it's one of the smaller stadiums. They
Right.
redid it all. It's got a cool party deck and everything else. I would say, I bet they get 40 or 50. 50 would be the top end. I would
Right.
say 30 to 40. Because you got to think, it's still an hour away from Indianapolis. People got to drive in there. Bloomington doesn't have a ton of people inherently that live there. And you're going against the NFL draft. And you could have 2 players going in the first round, which is probably never happened.
For Indiana, that's
have to do some more research here. Let's see.
I'm sorry,
I
but
bet it's
no,
no,
you're all right.
I don't think it's ever. I would be shocked if Indiana ever had multiple first-round picks in the draft.
They've only ever had one top overall pick. If you guys got this, I don't have a lot of money in my pocket, but I'll give it all
Is
to
it
you.
a quarterback?
It was Corby Davis in the 1938 NFL draft
Yeah.
Oh,
to
CD,
the
yeah.
Cleveland Rams.
Or is it KD? Whatever it is. Is it CD or KD?
C.
Okay, I got it right
C.
the first
Corby
time.
with a C. Multiple first-round picks. Actually, wait a second. Well, oh no, okay, never mind. Yeah, it's going back so far that the AFL and NFL are like flipping back and forth. Yeah. So that's throwing me off a bit. But it does not look like. I mean, it looks like they've only had a dozen or so in total. So
okay.
But yeah, it doesn't look like any of the same years.
But it feels like a Signetti type thing to do. The Google Me guy,
Mr. Google Me.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, I just don't understand. Like, it's a great opportunity to promote your program in a big way, and you're having your spring game going head to head. Maybe they
Okay.
decided, hey, we want to do this on Thursday night, and it just kind of timed up like this. Ohio State, and I mean, in reality, when the draft is on Saturday, Bodie, a lot of the drafts were on Ohio State spring game.
Yeah.
But that was when it was on Saturday. It started at noon. It's like that's what it was.
And how many years ago would that have been?
I think in like 2012, 2011.
Because I'm trying to
somewhere
think,
in there,
like,
11, 12, 13, because the 14 draft or 15 draft with Zeke and Bosa, I remember being at night.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I remember that too.
I would
remember where
say
I was
maybe
when we drafted
2011
Zeke.
11 or 12 is when they kind of changed that.
Okay, because the draft too, what it is now is not how it's always been.
No, they
you guys
continue
can
to hype
speak
it
to
up.
that more than I could, but it's like I would say I can remember watching the draft and like caring.
Yeah.
And watching the first round on Thursday nights since I was probably beginning of high school, 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember paying much attention to it before that. But yeah, it is certain. Like there was not. We're down to 12 hours, 52 minutes, and 40
Thank
seconds
you.
on
Thank
ESPN
you.
right now. Hey, you can see it too, Tito. We can all.
Yeah, I know. We can all look at it now. I can't see what time it is.
But it's like that was not a thing on ESPN.
No,
20 years ago, maybe even 15.
It used to be on. Well, it was big, but they had all 3 rounds. It was a whole day Saturday, and people liked it.
Started at like noon on Saturday.
Yeah, but it's a prime time affair. Like getting there for the number 1 overall pick, like sitting in at noon on a Saturday, it doesn't feel near as big as like, hey, you'll go to bars and watch
Yes.
this, and like
There's
8
gonna
o'clock
be-
sitting in there. They made
I
it the
mean-
biggest event it's the biggest non-sporting sports event in the world.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna. I was trying to get pulled up real quick here. How many NBA games we got tonight?
I think there's 3, right?
3 tonight.
They
And
might as well
then
be.
Stanley Cup playoffs probably has 3 or 4 as well. Yep, 3 for them as well. And it's gonna like smoke them in ratings. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's I remember the Saturday Sunday thing when it was the 3 or 4 rounds there was, I think, Bobby, on Saturday. It started at noon.
It was the
And-
first 3.
The first 3, and then the Sunday started again at noon and did it all day, I think, then as well. And I enjoyed it from the standpoint of it was something you could flip on anytime. It was like it was an 8-9 hour thing, whatever, on Saturday, or 7 hour thing, whatever it was. But it was an all day thing that way, watching rounds 1 through 3, and I enjoyed that. But back then also, it was 15 minutes per pick in the first round.
It was 15 minutes per pick, and if you traded, you got another 15.
Right.
Oh gosh.
And if you had
I got
back-to-back picks, you
drafted-
got the full 30.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you got everything you wanted. It was crazy, and that's why they changed it. They changed the rules on that maybe a year or 2 later, because that was the 2006. The first round went like 5 hours.
Yeah, it was
It was 5.5. It was insane.
Yeah.
Like I was pick 18, and I was at like 348.
And
I mean, that was taking forever. People were
Yeah.
trading and then taking the full 15 minutes again.
Well, then this year they've made a change to how much. Now it's 8 minutes in the first round.
Yeah.
which is
To
significant.
get them moving. And if you make a trade, you get like 5, which is, by the way, if you're making the trade, You're not trading to decide what you want. You're trading because you're ready to go. If you jump somebody in line, like they're ordering at a restaurant and they're going around and it's like, hey, what do you want? It's like, you know what I want? Here.
Yeah.
It's not like, no, it's my turn. I'm going to jump you, and I'm still going to take time to decide. No, you're jumping them because you want to tell them exactly what you're going to eat.
And even the overall order of picks and players and whatnot, you know? If you went to Sean McVay right now and said, hey, week 1, fourth quarter, game's tied, 3rd and 8, what play you calling? He's going to be like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of scenarios that can play into that. Well, even at the 19th pick tonight for whoever's picking 19, the first 18 players, like, they've probably ran through it and done a bunch of mock drafts themselves. So they probably have a pretty good idea of, like, well, it's going to be these 3, 4, 5 guys. And, 8 minutes should be plenty of time to hammer that out. Like, I mean, even when the Raiders go on the clock, it's like they'll probably eat up 5 or 6 minutes. And it's just, you guys have been on the clock since Christmas. Like, just get up there and make
they want to have some of their time, man.
Yeah. When you go back and look at the history of decisions made in sports programming, ESPN choosing to do the draft, and when they chose to televise the draft, and this would have been, I think it was right before the 1981 draft when George Rogers went number 1 overall from South Carolina, but they were mocked. Like the NFL, Pete Rozelle could not believe, like, why do you want to televise the draft?
Yeah.
And it was questioned by a lot of people. Why would you ever want to televise this? No one wants to watch it, see where it's gone now. And just a brilliant move by ESPN to do that. That's still, bearing fruit for them today. And I always remember the story around draft time, bro, that in 1964, there wasn't a time limit on your picks. All right.
We'll see tomorrow.
The Cowboys waited more than 6 hours to make a second-round pick.
There you go.
Because Gil Brandt was trying to get info on an Oregon defensive back, Mel Renfro. Went on a pretty good NFL career,
Mel
too.
Renfro had a great, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
I think you might be right about that. But
I recognize that name, so yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he's in the Ring of Honor. He might be in the NFL Hall of Fame.
And so, like, the Cowboys took more than 6 hours to wait and get back a medical report on him. So, like, they were picking the second round, and it's like they waited more than 6 hours before they made their pick.
Oh, and heck, now, not only is the draft a big deal, schedule release is like a huge kind of, affair. The combine is like in prime time now. Like it's
so people can watch guys run around. They moved everything.
Yeah.
So guys can go and perform late at night. It's amazing.
Also back in 64, it said the first round had 14 picks, took more than 8 hours.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, all you had was time then. They had to figure out something to fill the schedule with. I'm guessing Breer's not coming on.
I'm starting to get that impression, Bob. It's starting to feel
that way. Did you text
way.
him?
No, I didn't text him. He responds to your text, not mine. And I love Breer. I'm just saying, but like when I text him, though, usually I don't get the response as quickly as you would get it.
All you had to do was ask.
Bob, can you text Breer?
Yeah, I'm going to.
We can always push him to the next segment, right? We got another one.
Yeah, and we can take an early break, too, if we need to.
Early break if we need. Yeah, we can do all that. What are they going to do?
FCC, be damned. We're not on the FM. They can't tell us what to do.
The FCC won't let me be me.
What's awesome last night is my kids, we watched Wheel of Fortune as a family.
Ooh.
And then after that, we're like trying to figure out like what to watch. I wasn't going to watch some nonsense Chicago Med or whatever the hell it is. But I was like, we were watching that. I was like, Uncle Age was on Family Feud when they did the NFL edition. And so we're searching it, we couldn't find it. And it was like, well, here's just the all NFL edition of Family Feud. So the first episode was AFC versus NFC, and it was awesome because DeMarcus Ware was on there, and he was on with the Broncos at the time. So he was on the team with the AFC, which also had my guy Nick Mangold on there. So we watched that, fun watching it, unbelievably entertaining. Oh my gosh. And then the second one was offense versus defense, and that just happened to be the one that AJ was on. And Antonio Brown. I'm trying to think if Antonio Brown was on AJ's team or was on the one with AJ, or if he was on actually Nick's team. It was so good, though. Oh, my gosh. And listen to some of these answers.
100 people were asked, what do you do if you get in a fight with a coach?
Oh, exactly.
None of them said, take off your shoulder pads.
100 men were asked, What is the word that follows strip? And if you want to talk about some of the answers, Vernon Davis dropped a and Steve Harvey looked over at him and like,
Harvey's perfect.
He goes, brother, I love it. He's like, it's not going to be up there, but it's the right answer.
I think the best Family Feud one I remember seeing was when they finished this phrase, pork blank. And a guy says,
me.
No, a guy says, you pine.
That was on there.
Was that one on there?
It was on there. That's what my son RJ goes, well, pork, you pine was on there. I'm like,
pork, you pine.
I mean,
Sorry,
that's
what?
one word. I'm like, strip it's not a second word. That's just an ER at the end.
Listen, if you go ask 100 people right now, though, I'm betting there's one person that would say it.
I think so, yes. All right, we'll go to a break here, and we're going to do one or two things next, Bob.
Albert's going to come on if 7.
What, did you give a time or did you say just
Yeah.
whatever? Okay. All right, we're going to go to break, and folks, it's the Mega Tease. Albert Breer comes on next, Morning Juice.
I'm Brianna Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them, safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
I lost count of how many foster homes I lived in. 20, maybe more. Each time, a new family, a new room, but never a space that felt like mine.
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a permanent home.
Now I have my own room and decorated it myself. And just like my family, it's mine to keep.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. There's our guy, Albert Breer, joining us here. MMQB. Happy draft day, Albert.
Happy draft day.
We had a discussion about this pre-show, and I wanted to know when it was tweeted out or the announcement came out about Indiana having an 8 o'clock spring game tonight on a Thursday, head-to-head with the draft, when Mendoza's going to be the first pick and Indiana will likely have 2 first-round picks. You said you think it's a great idea. Surprised no one thought of it sooner. We weren't sure if you were being sarcastic, if you really like it, or if you like the idea of a Thursday night spring game, but just not at the same time your quarterback's going to be the first overall pick.
Well, first of all, like Fernando Mendoza is not going to be in
Right.
Pittsburgh, right? So, like, I think some of the response was like, well, Cignetti should be there. Well, you can make the argument that he should be in Miami with Mendoza, but I'm sure that all this was coordinated. So, like the hit, I think like the PR hit that you get of like having the head coach there with the number 1 overall pick, that I think any college football program will want, is gone anyway. And then I think the opportunity to almost have a celebration of Mendoza in the stadium with your fan base for the recruits to see, as like sort of one last organic like celebration of the national championship, to me, I thought was really, really smart. And the recruits getting to see you celebrate one of the greatest players in school history. I'm sure there will be recruits on hand, and turning it into a primetime event, that, I think would probably draw more people, and definitely more students. I really like the idea of it. We've seen different schools do different things with their spring game in the past. And, I don't think Ohio State has to do much to make their spring game a big deal in Columbus. But this seemed like a creative way to me to really sort of maximize what, the program's getting from having the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
I thought especially the primetime element of it kind of sets them apart a little bit. I did enjoy that. And we'll see this. If Omar Cooper Jr. goes first round, I mean, Indiana I don't think has ever had multiple first-round picks, Albert. Their last first-round pick was 1993. I mean, so it's been a minute, obviously, since that has happened. And, this first round, we've already had the Cincinnati trade that went into that. That happened after we talked to you last week with Dexter Lawrence. How much do you think of that trade was to the pleasing of Joe Burrow, or maybe him pressuring Cincinnati to make some moves to start winning now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say there's an element of it of making Joe happy, and I think showing a sense of urgency in what they're doing. But I think, Bobby, more so, it's really sort of how they saw the draft class.
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, and look, like this is something they did. It's like, is the 10th pick this year really worth what the 10th pick is normally worth? And when they went and looked at it, like what they found was the guy that they would probably wind up with at 10th overall might have like a mid to late first round grade. And so if that's the case, do you really feel like you're giving up the 20th pick, to get Dexter Lawrence? And then, they dug into, okay, like longevity, how much longer could we have Dexter Lawrence? And you see the example of Aaron Donald, who was dominant through his entire career, played until he was 32. Chris Jones is still someone that offenses game plan around. He's turning 32 this summer. So that would at least, indicate you got a shot to get maybe 4 more years out of Dexter Lawrence at a really high level. And then I think the other piece was they just don't have somebody that I think the defensive coordinator, when he's sitting down to game plan on a Tuesday, has to circle right away, and I think they felt like the chance of coming away with that player in the draft, while there are good players there, and we're going to be good defensive players there, like maybe they wind up with Caleb Downs, maybe they wind up with Mansour Delane. There were good defensive players, but there wasn't like the sort of game wrecker that Dexter Lawrence has shown he can be. And so, I think there was a lot of football logic that went into it, but for sure there's an element of, we have Joe Burrow here. He's one of the 3 best quarterbacks in football. And, we need to act with some urgency to fix what's going on the other side of the ball.
So with the Giants now having 5 and 10,
yep.
Do you think they're trying to move off of those? And also, what do you think the chances are that they might end up with 2 Buckeyes in that class?
I think it's decent. I mean, I think it's a decent chance. I would say, Bobby, that, looking at where they're at, I think their priority coming into the draft was we want to help Jackson Dart, and we want to put Jackson Dart in a situation where He's really positioned to break through. You know, they've stocked that coaching staff too on that side of the ball, bringing in Matt Nagy and Greg Roman and Brian Callahan. You know, 3 really experienced guys who've all worked with quarterbacks. And so, you know, I think at least one of those 2 picks is going to be a receiver, would be my guess. And so I know there's been a lot of buzz about Jordan Tyson, right? Jordan Tyson. I just think Carnell Tate's going to fit John Harbaugh better. And the reason why, he's a far superior blocker. He's tougher. He's more reliable, and he's healthier. And I know fans don't get excited about that. You know, that's not going to show up in like a 3-minute YouTube highlight compilation, you know, but the stuff that I think John Harbaugh really values in a football player, Carnell Tate has. And so, like, my guess would be, I mocked Carnell Tate 5th overall to the Giants. And then I think the question becomes at 10, do you double down and go and get a lineman, which I think could be the Penn State lineman. I think it could be, you know, if Maui Noah slips there, I think it could be Maui Noah. Or do you do something to help a defense that's now missing Dexter Lawrence? And Caleb Downs, to me, like, I just mentioned Carnell Tate's fit over Jordan Tyson for John Harbaugh. I mean, Bobby, you know Caleb way better than I do. Yeah. I like, this guy checks every box for John Harbaugh. I mean, he's a legacy there, right? His dad played there. And, you know, I think, like, if you go back and you look at the history of John Harbaugh's defense and what they did in Baltimore over 18 years, you know, when Wink Martindale became the defensive coordinator in 2018, they basically made the decision, we're going to reimagine everything. And, you know, Jesse Minter was in that room. Mike McDonald was in that room. And the idea that John Harbaugh wanted them to execute was, we want to play defense like everyone else plays offense. We want to dictate terms to everyone else. And the guy that they used to do that was Eric Weddle. And the way they did it was, we want to give Eric Weddle the ability to adjust things on the fly the same way a quarterback does on offense. And Eric Weddle obviously did that at a really high level for them. And then eventually they handed that responsibility off to Kyle Hamilton. And I think Caleb Downs is ideal to play that sort of role. In fact, I had somebody who knows Weddle pretty well tell me, you know, and Bobby, you think I think you may be the one who kind of put this thought in my head to begin with. But someone the other night called him a twitchier Eric Weddle, which I thought was really interesting, you know? So, like, I think Downs would be a really, really good fit for the Giants.
Albert Breer joins us, MMQB, as he does every Thursday. Will you be surprised if Ty Simpson's name is not announced tonight?
No. I think it's definitely a wild card. I think it could go either way. And, you know, look, like, does somebody get antsy and see the Jets and the Cardinals at the top of the second round and move into the bottom of the first round? Maybe. I think the Cardinals are 34, the Jets are 33. So
yes.
The Jets, the Cardinals, you know, think the Jets are going to do it, and then they leapfrog. I've heard the Jets are going to wait till next year on quarterback, but could the Cardinals say, like, well, you know, we'll pay the price, the small price. The Patriots are open to moving out of 31. The Seahawks are open to moving out of 32. Let's just go get him. I think that's possible. I think it's more likely he falls to the second round. And I just can't find a ton of people who view him as a first-round pick. Doesn't mean he's not a good player. But, you know, I think there's also a subtle nuance to the idea of taking a quarterback in the second round, in that I think a lot of times when you take a quarterback in the first round, you're sort of taking yourself off the market for the next few years at the position. And, yeah, there's the example from Arizona a few years back when they went Josh Rosen one year, Kyler Murray the next, but that involved a coaching change. But when you take a quarterback in the second round, there's really nothing stopping you from going, you know, and taking a quarterback in the top 5 the next year. And so, you know, the Browns did it. In 2017, they took DeShone Kizer in the second round. And then the next year took Baker Mayfield first overall. The Panthers did it in 2010. They took Jimmy Clausen in the second round, Cam Newton in the first round the next year. So, like, I think somebody's probably going to look at Simpson that way and say, here's a guy who's a good player. Take a swing, get him in the building for a year. Worst comes to worst, he's a long-term backup for us. And if we hit on him and there's really something there, then great. Then we don't have a quarterback need next year. So my guess would be that would be how a team would view him.
Browns, more likely to take someone at 6, or you think they're trying to move back?
I think they're both looking to move back from 6 and maybe move up from 24. I have them taking Spencer Fano, Bobby. I think what they would like to do is come away from the draft with a receiver and a tackle. And how do you do that? Well, do you say, okay, like if both Tate and Tyson are there, then we have our choice of the 2, and we have to take advantage of that. And then, we'll probably have to maneuver from 24. We may have to move up from 24 to get a tackle. Or do you look at it and say, we're going to park one right in the middle of the fairway, take Spencer Fano out of Utah at 6th overall, and then the depth of the receiver class will get us a good player at 24. I think one way or the other, it's going to work out that way. I have heard that they like Casey Concepcion from A&M. If, they decide to wait on the receiver, somebody who could be available to them late in the first round. If you're okay with him character-wise, he's explosive, great with the ball in his hand, brings a lot of return ability. On the flip side, I've also heard they like Caden Proctor and Monroe Freeling. And those guys wouldn't be, at least I don't think they would pick either of those guys at 6. So, are you able to maybe make a move from 24 all the way up to 15 to get a Monroe Freeling or a Caden Proctor to pair with a Tate or a Tyson? So I think those are the sorts of ideas that are floating around for them right now.
Albert, the people in the chat were hearing the dings on your phone there, and they wanted you to know if you have any breaking news do you want to share with us. They also thought it might have been Stugott's weekend observations with all the dings that were coming in there. But you're a busy guy there today. So.
It's a mix of it's a mix of NFL people and stupidity from my friends. So yeah.
That's fantastic. I feel like this year, Albert, more so maybe in other years, I feel confident knowing who the first 10 players we drafted. I don't know in which order, but I'm saying I feel like more so maybe in years past that we know who's going to go in the top 10. It's just the jumbling of it. Do you feel that way too, or am I wrong on that?
You're saying you have less certainty in the top 10?
No, who the players are going to be, but not necessarily. I don't think there's shocks in the first 10 picks.
Yeah, I feel comfortable. Obviously, Mendoza, Bailey, Reese, Styles. Tate, Tyson's getting there for me. I don't know if he'd be a lock to go in the top 10, but he's getting there for me. I feel more comfortable Delane's going to go in that range. I think Downs is close. I don't know if he's a lock to go in the top 10. I think he could slip out a little, but not too far. So, yeah, I think that's fair. I think what it is, too, is just, and I know I've said this to you guys a bunch over the last few weeks, but, it's just to make up the class, the fact that you don't have the prototypes, and what's interesting about it is next year you will, so there's no Julio Jones receiver this year. Well, next year you got, you got Jeremiah Smith. There's no Myles Garrett pass rusher. Well, next year you've got Dylan Stewart and Colin Simmons from South Carolina and Texas. There's no Pat Surtain corner. Well, next year you got Leonard Moore from Notre Dame, so, this year sort of lacks that, and so it's, if you view the best players as the guys at the non-premium positions, your Jeremiah Love, your Sonny Styles, your Caleb Downs, then are you comfortable taking them over a guy at a premium position who might have a flaw that you have to, wrap your head around? I think that's the biggest question for the teams up top. And I think that's why it's led to more volatility, in just where each of those guys lands.
Does volatility mean more movement tonight?
I think there are more teams that want to go down. And I think teams that are willing to maybe even take a little less to go down. Arizona really wants out of 3. And I think if they stick, it's probably Jeremiah Love. Tennessee really wants out of 4. That's the one I've circled for Arvell Reese. I mean, the question becomes, okay, what is someone coming up for? So I could see someone coming up for Reese or Love. I think that's possible. But are they willing to pay the full freight to do it? Or are they sniffing around thinking, well, this is a different type of year, so maybe we can get a discount, So, like the Chiefs, the Rams, the Cowboys have all sniffed around on moving up. But I think that's just the front office people in those spots doing their jobs and investigating everything. So I think there's going to be movement in the teens, and I think the movement's going to be prompted by the offensive line run whenever that happens. I think 7 tackles will go in the first round.
Ooh.
I think it's Maui Noah, the 2 Utah guys, Proctor, Freeling, and Miller and Hennichor. I think all 7 of them go in the first round. Maybe all 7 of them go in the first 25 picks. But whenever that run gets touched off, there are so many teams that need tackles. I could see that leading to some movement in the middle of the round. So like I don't know about way up at the top. I know the teams way up at the top are trying to move down. But I do think you'll find some matches there in the middle of the round where some teams will come up and maybe try to take advantage of a tackle class that's got some good players.
We'll get you out on this one, Albert. A couple of quick ones here. One, do you have to be alone when consuming the draft tonight? Are you going to lock a door and tell family, leave me alone, so you can watch it all? And number 2, Bobby watched a lot of NFL Family Feud theme type shows last night, and who would you have on your team, and would you be good at Family Feud?
Oh, well, Family Feud. Well, if it wasn't my actual family, you're saying?
Yes. If it was like NFL reporters, NFL people, the guy to my left, whatever,
gosh.
Who would be what would be an ideal team?
Just as far as being able to answer those questions?
Yes.
I mean, I think you'd have to put McVay on, right? Because he's his brain is like a encyclopedia. It's like a steel trap. So I'd have Sean there.
Would Peter King be good?
Sean and Kyle. It'd be hard. It'd be hard not to pick Sean and Kyle.
Okay.
Those two. I mean, is Belichick still eligible?
You can have Belichick on there. Yeah.
And then you throw Tomlin on there for vibes and charisma.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that gets me to 5.
That's your 5 right there. Yeah.
There you go.
I even just say no. Let it be known that I did say the guy to my left. You did not mention him. I'm not trying to cause a fight. I'm just saying I did say you could have Carpenter, and you did not say Carpenter.
I'll take Bobby.
No,
Bobby's
it's too
good vibes.
Alternate guy now. No, he's an alternate. And then the draft tonight. Will you have to tell people leave me alone?
No, I'm going to be doing a live stream. Everybody can tune into that. We are going to be ahead of the draft, so we'll be able to give you an analysis. I'm going to be seeking out getting the opinions of people who are in the draft rooms while it's going on, which I'm going to try to give people a little bit of a unique experience on the way the teams are thinking as that's going on. For me, it's like a busy work night. I'm just trying to do the best I can to gather as much information as I can, the best information I can, text with people that are in the rooms. And, it all sort of pours into my work too, going forward, and all the stuff that I'm going to be doing going forward, because I think it's important to, I love being able to recap everything, right? And I love being able to take people inside places they can't go. That's a huge part of my job, but I think you really have to be in it yourself. You know what I mean? And to have real context on it, to me, it's the same as covering a game. If you're not there, if you're not watching the game, it's this is harder to watch because it's not on, because what's actually happening isn't on TV. But I think it's important that I try to have a handle on everything that's happening behind those closed doors as it's happening, which I think gives me real context that I can help share on how all these decisions are made.
You're the best, Albert. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. Have fun tonight, and we'll recap everything next week.
Thanks, guys. Sorry I was late today.
Hey, no worries. We're going to dock your pay. Right. Albert Breer joins us there from MMQB. Appreciate that. Check out his live stream tonight when he's watching the draft. Coming up next, we will wrap things up with what's got you juiced. And also, don't forget, it's a Ya Highness Thursday for Brody and I, and Bobby. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
I'm Meredith Garfalo, meteorologist at 10 TV News This Morning, and I'm an Ohio girl. I love golf, aerospace, and all things Ohio sports. For nearly 20 years, I've studied the patterns that shape our days, from winter wonders on the south side to dangerous storms along the I-71 corridor. When the weather changes, you'll be the first to know, because you need a forecast that moves as fast as you do. Make the move to 10 TV News This Morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
There is nothing more meaningful you can do for yourself, your family, and friends than finally getting rid of that pain so they can enjoy that time with you again, especially heading into vacation season. Here, let me help you. It's Bobby Carpenter, and Dr. Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics take care of your pain in the office so you can go right along with your day. It's that easy. So if you say yes to any of these questions, you're the kind of patient QC Kinetics regenerative treatments can help every day. I have consistent pain in my joint, knees, hips, shoulder, back. Pain keeps me from getting a good night's sleep. I'm missing work or saying no to things that I love. I don't want surgery or a long-term recovery. I am at the end of my rope, and taking medications every day is just going to get me through the day. I don't want to do it anymore. So if you want to do that, go check out your free consultation over with my friends at QC Kinetics in Dublin or Gahanna. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices in Dublin and in Gahanna.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
Bobby knows what it's like to be a winner. Tito knows what it's like to be thrown out of an all-you-can-eat buffet.
You're here 4 hours.
This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Thank you to Albert Breer for joining us there on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest video. Now we're going to continue with that. Look at this guy. It's a Ya Highness Thursday. It's a Brody Thursday. Chad at WeWinUwin.com. Good morning, Chad. Is the NFL draft a place where you can make some money on betting?
Well, first off, good morning to the 614. Happy Thursday. Happy draft day. By the way, if you haven't watched Draft Day with Kevin Costner, now's your time to do it. The draft is only how many hours away, Brody?
12 hours, 16 minutes, 46 seconds.
All right, let's jump on the right foot, do the wrong thing. The draft is a great time to make money. And they zig, I like the zag. 5. Albert Breer made some great points there. Caleb Downs will be going number 9 to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they take a defensive back. So Caleb Downs, Ohio State fans, and I think all 3 Buckeyes going to top 10. Sonny Styles, Downs, and Tate.
And
Tate could slip to the top 15, but
yeah,
Weiss, I like 3 Buckeyes to go on the. Oh yeah, so let's not bury the lead. This is where Your Highness differs from everybody else. The Mel Kipers, the Todd McShays, the Albert Breers. Everybody's got Mendoza going 1. No big deal. I got Reese going 2. I know a lot of people say Bailey kid there from Texas Tech.
Yep.
Yeah, is going to go. But here's the smoke and mirrors: is nobody's putting out the information ahead of time who the Jets are taking. Why is everybody so high on Bailey? Because that's the red herring in the building. Arvell Reese slips into the 2 spot. That creates chaos. I think Arizona looks for a spot to trade out. Love, that's right, Notre Dame's Jeremiah Love there, Brody, going number 3. And I'm not sure he goes to Arizona. I think it's by way of trade because they're going to sneak in ahead of Tennessee because Tennessee's got their eye on Love. And then I think a big surprise that a lot of people aren't calling, but I think it fits the right spot is Sonny Styles going 5th overall to the New York Football Giants. I think the New York Football Giants go defense first, offense second. I think they pick up like a wide receiver later in the first round, but they go defensive player. I know Mel Kiper Jr. had Caleb Downs being in that 5 spot, but I think with some of the knee issues and some of the questions on injuries, I think Caleb Downs falls out of the top 5, but still's picked up. The Chiefs are really desperate and need a secondary player. And I think Caleb Downs is that guy. He's going to be their Eric Berry of the next generation there.
Oh, Eric Berry. It's a little.
Yeah, he was a big time player there.
Yeah, he was very good.
Yeah, he was a big time player for the Chiefs.
Very good. What are your thoughts on Jeremiah Love?
Yeah, I think Jeremiah Love definitely does not see past the 5th pick. Tennessee, if he's available at Tennessee, he goes there. But I really think somebody's coming up to get him in the 3 spot. There's not a lot of splash on the offense. You got Mendoza going 1. There's no quarterback worth a darn. Ty Simpson, I have as a 2nd or 3rd round. Somebody will mess around and sneak up into the 1st round. I see the Patriots sitting there towards the end. They love to trade out of the 1st round and start racking up draft picks. So I think that's a spot people could trade up back into the 1st round. But yeah, I think we have 2 trades in the top 10, top 15. I think after the 15th pick, it gets a little boring. We're going to be looking at a lot of guys that put their hand in the dirt and a lot of wide receivers. I think you have a late run on wide receivers, but I have Carnell Tate being the first wide receiver off the board, somewhere probably in that 6, 7, 8 range in the draft.
Chad at WeWinYouWin.com. Ya Highness joins us like he does every single Thursday at Shut Up and Bet, where you can find his podcast and stuff he does on YouTube. And you always, every week when you come on, you offer some kind of a special thing for our listeners. And I know we had the 420 went on where you were giving away the month of April for the rest of the month of April for free. What do you have right now for our listeners?
Yeah, we're still doing the same thing. So it's a completely open house. Come join the community. You got a week left in April. Let's make money. I want to say we're on a 7-day win streak. So we've made money for the last 7 days. So that's pretty good. Coming into today's date for the whole year, $5 bettors. So even your small-time bettors, they should be up over $2,000. $25 bettors up over $10,000, and $100 bettors are up over $40,000. And by the way, if you're a $100 bettor and started with me when I first started this thing 3 years ago, you should now be up over $100,000. And again, this is for $100 bettors over the last 3 years. That's not too bad, not too shabby. Huh? Stick with me, you'll be all right. By the way, we're growing thanks to your station and a couple others in Ohio. My goal, I think, for this new year is going to be the #1 sports betting community in all of the state of Ohio. I think that's the goal I'm towards. I think once we get about 150 to 200 Ohioans in the community, then I think I can claim that. So that's what my goal is. Let's make Ohio great again. Make them a sports betting mecca, baby. Let's take over the whole Buckeye state. Let's do it. But yeah, I think 3 Buckeyes go in the top 10 tonight.
The questions I've gotten from most people since you were here was, what was Ya Highness like? Is he really that way in person? And I told them he's absolutely genuine on that right there. This is nothing. There's nothing fake about Ya Highness, and we appreciate that, and we're glad that you're here with us. And that's great. You offered that up to the people, the free for the rest of the month of April. And yeah, every time you throw those numbers out there, Brody and I look at each other, and we kick ourselves for not doing everything. Like, I feel like I should just send you money and just say, here, I'll invest in you, and you do it. But yeah, it's the fact, I love how transparent you are. The fact that $100 bettors this year up over $40,000, that's amazing. That's amazing. And it needs to get publicized. So congratulations to you and all the listeners. And yeah, we'll keep growing this for Ohio. And I'm glad that the people do tune in. And I'm glad also now that Jacob Reimer is not on the show to offer up even bigger discounts.
No, look, and hey, I got no problem with Jacob. I love Jacob. If you can text Sonny, Bobby, or whoever's got his number there. I know I ran into Sonny, met him, nice guy. I'm cheering big. I'm the number one Sonny Styles fan. I hope he goes in the top 5. I hope he signs a big contract. But he probably ends up a Giant. By the way, the Giants are slowly collecting a lot of talent. Dart, Scattaboo. They're going to pick up some defensive talent, probably a wide receiver. Watch out for the Giants to win the East, NFC East this year. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm just going to kind of put that out in the atmosphere. Giants to win the East, NFC East this year. A little too early to call.
Chad at WeWinYouWin.com. Thanks so much for the time. We appreciate that. Any advice for Bobby on how he should handle his day today?
Well, first you should watch the draft and watch Kevin Costner draft day. But jump on the right foot, do the wrong thing, get in where you fit in, and I'll see you guys next week.
There you go. That was Ya Highness there joining us there. Appreciate that. As always, love having him on. Let's tell people what's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right. Sources tell me it's a Thursday there, Bodie. What do you got from Schlegs?
I love training. It's good times. There's nothing better than sweaty dudes, you know? I mean, that's really where the Band of Brothers comes into effect, when it's just, you're just really sweaty, you know?
There you go. Maybe they should have added a episode 2 Band of Brothers where dudes were just sweating, not fighting a war.
Yeah, sweaty dudes.
Play volleyball on the beach.
There you go. Got a couple things for you. Good news, bad news. Really juiced about the draft tonight. Pretty fired up to watch it and get kind of no sleep heading into tomorrow. That's all right. It's Friday. I'll take a nice long nap tomorrow. What does not have me juiced is I, all day yesterday and all day today and until probably tomorrow morning around 10 o'clock, have no internet at my apartment.
Oh.
Why?
So, well, probably 4 or 5 days ago, Spectrum sends out an email. Hey, we're going to be doing upgrades in your area. How about we just take your internet away, period? So the upgrades took place. I should use air quotes. What would have been not like last night, but the night before. So Tuesday night and Wednesday. Remember waking up Wednesday morning, trying to check my phone. Internet wasn't working. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. So came in here at some point during the show yesterday, got an email. Hey, upgrades are done. Go home. No, upgrades are not done. Actually, I have no internet at all. Not really sure if it's a apartment complex wide sort of deal, or maybe just my apartment got nailed, but no internet there. So that's not great. Fortunately, the iPad, I pay for the extra, I don't know what you would even call it there, non-internet service.
Yeah, the cell service.
Yeah, so I can just watch that.
So you're watching the draft on your iPad?
Yeah,
that's terrible.
It's my only option. Normally, I'm pretty big on the 2 screens during draft night. Got the draft up on the big screen, throw an NBA playoff game on the other one. Just going to be a 1-screener tonight. But at least, fortunately, it's something you don't have to, like, see all of, I guess, in a way. You know, if, like, I'll just kind of, if my non-internet connection kind of glitches out a little bit, check the phone, I guess, and be following it phone/iPad there. But that doesn't have me juiced, Bobby, but still excited to watch tonight and check everything out. And 12 and 20, we'll see.
There we go. See where they go. Possibilities are endless for Dallas. So had me juiced. Watching those family feuds last night was hilarious with 2 of my former teammates. Multiple, actually, teammates, 2 of my good friends. DeMarcus Ware was on there. There's a handful of guys that I played with, played against, know very well. So it was a lot of fun for my kids to see that and laugh at them. And, it's in prime time. Some of them are kind of inappropriate.
Just good old-fashioned family fun.
100 people were surveyed. What's the word that follows strip? What do you touch? What body part do you touch on a woman to get her interested or aroused? I forget how they worded it.
I would say Bo Jackson's shoulder.
They're like yelling stuff out. Listen to my kids yell stuff out. It was very entertaining. What's something a man would name after himself? And the final answer was male genitalia, which no one got. And my son whispers that in my ear, and I'm like, I think that's probably right. And and Steve Harvey goes, y'all knew it, you just didn't want to say it. And it was hilarious. Very, very funny. So that was fun. We watched 2 of those episodes last night. Draft tonight. Super excited for those guys to see. Watch, really a life of dedication, hard work, all come to fruition this evening. And they get to start their journey now, and not where they want to go. It's whoever chooses to select you, and it's just the beginning. And, it's probably the beginning, hopefully, for a lot of these guys of, near a decade or more of what's the final chapter in their football dream. So pretty excited for that. Some nostalgia. It'll be 20 years since that was for me. I think I was drafted on the 28th. Was when we had our NFL draft that year on that Saturday.
You want to hear it, Bob?
Sure, let's play that off.
With the 18th choice in the 2006 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Bobby Carpenter, linebacker, Ohio State.
Carpenter.
Well, it's in New York. Not a lot of Dallas fans up there in New York. More Giants fans. They just like booing everybody as well.
They boo their own team.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's
Giants
booing
and Jets
everybody.
both fans. The fan base.
The only team that Jets and Giants fans hate more than the rivals is their own.
Their own, yep.
Exactly. So excited, obviously, for that and fun to watch that. Got some lacrosse carpool I've got to take care of tonight, but I'll be strapped in at probably about 7:45 to sit there and watch, get a couple drinks, and go through it and hammer that thing out. Thitoff, what's got you juiced, sir?
13 years ago today, the one of my favorite 30 for 30s was released, Elway to Marino. And so that chronicled that first round of the 1983 NFL draft, and Marvin Demoff, who represented both Elway and Marino, and everything went down there. It's a great, if you have time today, watch it, put it on in the background, whatever. But
I always said to watch Draft Day.
I've never seen Draft Day. I'd rather
I
watch
haven't,
Elway
and
to
I'm
Marino.
not going to watch it because I've heard it. I've heard it's
great.
From people that cover. They're like, dude, it's the most unrealistic thing you've ever seen.
It's incredibly unrealistic, but it's not the point. Listen, those people walking out of the corn to play baseball wasn't realistic.
I've never seen that either.
Oh, Bob. Costner's great. Well,
Costner is great, and James Earl Jones is great. But
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. Was
right. He
great. Is Vontae Mack, and he was a Buckeye in the movie.
There we go.
So.
Thank you to our guest today, Albert Breer, joining us there. Ya Highness also as well. And we got so much to talk about tomorrow. Thank you to all the chatters. We will be